Okay, again, today we're talking the scanning software using the Epson scan that's in the room here. We're going to start with the professional mode. Okay, so the first option here is called document type is reflective. That's using the basically paper drawing. And then you've got film, which you need an adapter for the film. Which the problem with the film is the resolution isn't very high. These are called flatbed scanners, not very high. In the old days, we used to use something called a drum scanner, which was basically you would take the film and you would put it on a drum, and the drum would spin, but the quality of that was much better because the light was going through the film much better than any flatbed scanner could. And so that's how you can get really high quality. Back in the old days when we'd get really high quality images from film into printing was with something called a drum scanner. The flatbed was never, and it's still not as good. You can't really get good film. It's just the quality is not very good. Document type table, photo or document. Why would you want to do document? Well, a lot of these scanners can also do what's called OCR, optical character recognition, which would convert something. Let's say it's words, right? Maybe it's words, and it will convert it back into words. That way you don't have to type everything. A lot of softwares like that. In fact, that's how archive.org and all those places make books. They make books by scanning the page, and the page then is converted to text. Here, if we just look at it, here, you can go visit it and you can actually see it. Maybe we all go up to the mural and then we visit archive at the same time. They're real close to each other. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. So here at the archive, right, we want a book. We can type in what's a famous book. Of course, we like our Edgar, E-G-A-R, Edgar Allan Poe. There it is. I'm always typing him, and I like reading Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, I guess it's the morbidness in it. Maybe they're sleeping today. It might be a good place to, they don't have any text. Am I spelling it wrong? Probably are. How about we Poe? Did I spell it wrong? E-D-G? Is that it? Oh, jeez. Really? Must be Monday morning or Tuesday morning. There we go. So again, you'll see, here's a book, right? You click on it, and then you can read the book. Oh, this is not a good one. Let's find a book. There we go. So you see these books. What they've done is, they've gone and scanned the book into the computer. And so they have these. They have this. Basically, it's like a camera almost. It's less than, not really a flatbed scanner. So you take they actually do it by hand. They take the book and it's in a V like this, and then the camera shoots each page with a camera, and then they turn a page, shoot, turn a page, shoot. It's really hand done. And they hire people to do that. And as you can see, here's the book, and you can read it. This one looks like it's still digital. It doesn't look like it's been converted, but a lot of them have been converted into OCR, optical character recognition. Usually if you do the ebook, here, this one, ebook, and you open that up, it should be, yeah, see, that's real text. Right, so it converts it. And how do I know it's real text? I can select it, right? And copy it, like you can with a PDF. Okay, so it's called OCR, optical character recognition. And you can do that too. Okay. So we're doing photo, not document. 24-bit is usually what I do. You can't go 48-bit. Why? That's just overblown. How many colors is 24-bit? We talked about this in class, didn't we? 16 million colors, right? Color smoothing is when you're trying to, I believe when you're doing something from a book. That's what I was trying to talk about. Descreening, I think they also have an option. Descreening right here. See it right here? It's turned off right now. But if you're doing something from a printed book, you check this. It'll get rid of that moire pattern I was trying to explain to you about. That's this one. As well as I believe that's the option in here. The color smoothing, I think, is also. So I think color smoothing from a book, I believe that's why it's there. Each software is a little bit different. 16-bit grayscale is really good if you're going to do a black and white photograph. A real photo, not from a book, but a real photograph. So let's say you're in a photography class and you do black and white photography. You could scan it. So the advantage of 16-bit grayscale is it's 65,000 levels of gray. So there's variations of the 65,000 different shades of gray from black to white, and 65,000 in between is this one. And a lot of black and white photographers use that. The downfall of that is you can't use certain things in Photoshop in 16-bit. Some of the options, the color correcting options, won't work in it. 8-bit grayscale is for black and white photography as well as scanning something that you want to be grayscale. The advantage of that is that it's only, well, the disadvantage is, of course, it's only 256 levels of gray. You go from white to black and 256 levels of gray in between. Resolution is here, and then, of course, black and white. I'm going to actually do black and white. Okay. I don't want shades of gray. I want it just like when we steal it from the noun project, right? Well, black and white. I know I did this on yellow. That's okay. It'll see the yellow as black and white. In fact, what you have when you choose black and white is you have something called threshold. And if you do something that has shades of gray in there and it's not pure black and not pure white, there's an option called threshold, and I'll show you that in a minute. What the threshold is where it goes black or where it goes white. And in the middle, it's 128, which is middle gray. Think of the grayscale. 0 to 255 is grayscale, right? There's 256 levels of gray. Right in the middle between that, the middle gray is 128. So when you do black and white, there is actually an option right here. Threshold, here it is. Oh, it's 110. You can adjust that. So when you scan this and part of your image is not being black that you want black, you can adjust that. Or part of your image is white and you want it to be black, you can adjust that. Let's see, size I'm not going to worry about right now and do original. So again, I'm doing black and white, 300 DPI. I'm ready. So the first thing you do is try and put it down nice and flat. Don't put it in the corner, the scanner doesn't go all the way to the edge. So you kind of try and put it flat with the up part that way. First thing to do is hit preview. And it's going to ask you how to name your file. You can tell it where to go. And I'm going to choose JPEG or TIFF. I would say either TIFF or JPEG. What the beauty of the TIFF is it's uncompressed. And the JPEG is compressed. This will be fine in JPEG. Okay. That's going to scan it. Usually it does a preview first. I don't know why it's just doing this randomly here. I should have. Usually I draw a box. And it automatically just made it there. Look at that. Okay, I did it wrong. What was this? Oh, I should have hit preview? No, why is it? Oh, there we go. Here's a preview. I click preview first. How about that? And here it is right here. Right? And so then you can draw a box around what you want. And you can adjust your box. Then you can hit scan. And it'll only scan that part. I hit preview first and then draw a box around what you want. Okay, so again, I hit preview. It's got that. There's different ways of rotating and doing things like that. But that's all there really is. Here it is on the desktop right there. So I can go into my famous Illustrator, just like, here it is. This is just like we had in the Noun project. Now it's a little rough. It's okay. I'm going to show you how to smooth it up inside of Illustrator. It'll look good. So again, the next step would be kind of like what we did with the Noun project. I know the Noun project is a thing, but here it is. It's a little rough. But again, it's black and white. I can import that into Elim. So let me start inside of Illustrator, and I can convert it. I'm going to make sure I'm in RGB format. So you want to be in RGB color, 1000 by that. Don't worry about size right now. We're going to convert it into vector anyways. The color space, though, I want to make sure it's in RGB. I'm going to create, because we're doing things for the screen. Everything for the screen is going to be in RGB. If I'm going to print it on the printing press over there, I might use CMYK.
But you're not going to use the colors. You're just going to use black and white.
Yeah, but if I want to convert it to color later. I remember how we made the truck icon pink, I think, or something like that, right? So you want to make it RGB so that you can convert it later to color. Okay, just like we did before with the Noun project, we will import our place. So it's under File, Place, just like we did before. Grab your drawing. What did I call it? Is it image 13? Is that it? And draw it on the screen. Ah, there it is. Okay, it looks a little rough, but again, we're going to convert it into black and white. To convert it into objects, just like we did before with the Noun project, we go to Image Trace. So I'm going to go under Window, Image Trace. In the Image Trace, where is my Image Trace? In the Image Trace window, I'm going to choose black and white as the option, black and white, see? Then under Advanced, we're going to click the Ignore White. Remember we're doing that? Ignore White. Now let's talk about, and if you hit preview, you'll see it. Okay, it still looks a little rough. Don't worry, we're going to clean it up. So there's these options over here when you're doing the conversion here to make things either smoother or rougher. Like right now, you'll see some of the lines are kind of a little bit rough here. See the line getting rough down there and stuff like that. So if you go and adjust inside of the image trace, there's a way to reduce the amount of paths. Oh, did you see that? If you reduce the amount of paths, ooh, look at that, a little bit better, then you have corners. And if you go higher, and then less noise, I don't know what this one is, but there is a way to do simple adjustments here. And when you're done, you can then go and convert it into an object. To convert it into an object, you go under Object, Expand, just like we did in class before, and say OK. And it's still rough. But what can I do? I can use some of the tools to adjust it. By, you got the pencil tool, the eraser tool, and maybe we can erase a little bit here where the hand was. So there is an eraser tool. So it looks more like what the drawing was, right? And so on. Wow, look at that. Another way to adjust yours is to use the actual white selection tool. The white selection tool allows you to adjust the points. So you'll notice that you have a bunch of points here, and you can move things around, move the points around, move the points around. And so everything has points, but of course that's too hard to. How about we just redraw it in Illustrator? Who says we should do that? Yes? Okay. So that's why you need to learn Illustrator. At this point, I don't expect you to learn Illustrator. We have a whole Illustrator class. Okay, but let me redraw this for you real quick because I can do it really fast. So the advantage of using a drawing like this is it's a template. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to do it real fast for you. So I'll bring up layers, okay, and I'll lock the layer. By locking the layer, I'm not going to mess with it. It's sit there, it's there, right? So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer. It's a new blank layer right here that I can draw on. So what I want to do is I'm going to use simple shapes for this. This is a circle here. This is a path. This is a path here. This is a circle there. This is probably a rectangle here. This is a rectangle here. This would be a circle here. So I got circle, 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 rectangle, rectangle. This will be a circle that I adjust. This will be a circle. This I'll actually draw by hand using the pen tool. So here we go. How long do you think it'd take me to do this? Can we do it in, let's say, 4 minutes? Who says I can do it in 4 minutes? Okay, let's do it. Ready? Let's count. We're going to wait till it reaches 13. 10, 13. Ready? Go. Okay, here we go. So we're going to use the ellipse tool. Now you can either draw from the corner or you can draw from the center out when you're using the oval tool. If you hold down the Option key, it allows you to draw from the center out. So I'm going to draw from the center out like this. And this is kind of an oval. It's not a perfect circle, is it? It's all right. Let's turn off the fill and keep a stroke. Stroke is the line that goes around the outside. And let's make the line a little bit thicker. Let's make it like thicker than that. Let's make it 40. Ooh, there we go. Nice thick line right there. And then I'll use the pen tool to adjust things here. Let's move it a little bit. Let's pull this out. Oh, let's get this side, pull that out a little bit. Let's get this side, pull that out a little bit. Let's grab this point down here and let's hit delete. Okay, there we go. So now we have one shape here. It's basically the shape that goes across the top. Oh, I don't have enough space. Hold on. There we go. Okay, there we go. There's a shape that goes across the top. That would be this shape right here. Next, let's just duplicate that one. How about that? Oh, we'll just duplicate that shape. And I hate the mouse of this computer. Kind of sucks. And let's shrink that down a little bit. And let's put that in there. Let's shrink that down a little bit. And then let's pull the points out. So we use this direct selection tool. I'm going to grab this point and pull it out a little bit there. Grab this point, pull it out a little bit there. Make this a little bit more in the center here. There we go. That looks pretty ugly. We don't want that far out. We want it to be a little bit inside. How about that? A little bit inside. How about that? Closer? Okay, we need this one up here. Let's just fake this one a little bit. We'll do another one. How about we do from the center out like that? We'll give it a little bit of something like that. Let's zoom in. Let's delete. I'm going to delete the point that's at the bottom right here. This one. There we go. That's somewhat there. This is a little thick. Probably remove this down to, come on, give me 20. This is kind of thick too. I don't like this being this thick. Let's move it. Let's make this one 22. Oosh, no. How about we make it 30? There we go. Okay, so we have that. We have that. Then we need to make a rectangle, so let's go to the rectangle tool right here. Again, this time I'm going to do fill but no stroke, and I'm going to kind of drag it so it goes across about the same thickness as that. How about that? Somewhat okay? Okay, good. Next, boy, this bottom shape is very similar to this top shape, so how about we just duplicate that? I'll grab that. And I'll grab these two shapes right here and I'll duplicate them like this, and then I'll flip them around so they're the other way like that. Here we go. And then so let's move that up to about there, and then we're going to take this point that's right here and let's move that down so it's more of a, there, we'll kind of exaggerate it so it's a little bit more. How about that? Okay, and then there's a little dot down there, a little circle down there. Here we go. We'll do the ellipse tool, and then there's a circle down there. Hold the shift key down, makes a perfect circle, and we want a fill and not a stroke on that. There we go, something like there we go, a dot there. And then we want the hand that goes across here into the food area here. That's going to be hard, but we can do it. The best thing to do is use the pen tool. And you need to learn to master the pen tool. That is the pen tool right here. I've been doing the pen tool, using it since 1988. So I've been using it a long time. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit here, and we want to click. I'm gonna do a little arc. This is called a anchor point. That's it. And oh, I'm gonna turn off fill and stroke here. So I'm not gonna have any color while I'm making this. And then we have some kind of a finger up here, don't we? Whoosh, that's a rough hand. A thumb. Okay. I think I have too many fingers, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers. It's a 6-finger person here. Okay. Way too many fingers. Okay, so let's zoom in. Okay, it's a little rough. It's rough. I got a 6-finger person. Here, let's get rid of this guy. Uh-oh. Can't do that, can we? I just deleted that. That's no good. The best way to remove it is to use the minus. There we go. Minus. And it keeps the path. There we go. So let's move these around here. There's a finger there. This finger needs to be a little bit there. And we want the finger to be there. This finger, there we go. There's a finger there. How's my time? Am I done? Did I miss my timeline? How long was I going to do this?
4 minutes.
Am I past 4 minutes?
Yes.
Oh. I did 5 minutes? Oh. This hand is difficult.
Yeah.
Mm. At the hand, if it was a simple shape, I could have done it. Yeah. Kind of like the curve there. I like the curve here for some reason. Well, yeah, I probably could have done this better, but I did it kind of quick. This doesn't look good. This finger is not a good finger here. There. Okay, whatever. Let's fill it with some black. There we go. Okay, so we have a hand there. And that goes kind of here, right? There we go. That's not a very good hand, but it was a good start. It was a good start. Yeah. Maybe we just steal the hand. How about that? There we go. How about this one? Or this one? Or this one? Which hand? It was your drawing. You tell me which hand you like. This one? This one? Open hand. What's that?
I don't know. If you put it, would you be able to like angle it, or is it?
We can rotate it.
Okay.
Okay, let's steal this hand. Okay. So, yeah, my hand drawing didn't work very well. How about we delete that? Okay, so again, we place our drawing in there, our stolen artwork, wherever that is. Convert it into a vector using the image trace. make sure you expand it. And let's place it where it needs to be. We can rotate it a little bit. Is it like that? A little bit up? Maybe a little squished like this so it's more of a hand that's flat. How about that? Okay, and then we need the white that goes around the edges here, don't we? Okay, so how can we get white around the edge here? So what you can do with an object inside of Illustrator is you can split it. So I can put a point right there using the, there's knife tool. There's a knife tool somewhere. Where is it? Blob. Anybody know where the knife tool is? Knife, 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 knife. And select it. And then knife it. No? That didn't work. Let's move this out of the way. Somehow I want to split this right there. Isn't it a knife? Isn't this do that? No? How about the scissor tool? Does that work? You need an anchor. How about we click? There we go. That worked. Scissor tool. And we can move this down. Move this one up. Take the point. Smooth it out a little bit here. Let's make this a corner point. I'm going to make that a corner point by using the anchor point. There we go. Let's make this a corner point. There we go. Let's move our hand right there. We can move this down if it's too far away. Okay. What do you think of that? We can change our artboard now. So if you want, you can save this. I would save this as my working, what icon is this? Find food. Working find food. And then you can then change the artwork. So if I select the artwork here, if I select all the artwork here, if you remember how to get it to be your bounding box, you go underneath Object, Artboards, Fit to Art Bounds. What that does is it fits it over here. Oh, we wanted selection. Artboards, Fit to Selected Art. There we go. So we selected here, like that. There we go. Actually, I'd probably delete this because I don't want this piece anymore. So let's get rid of this one by taking the entire layer and trashing it. There's a trash can in the layer there. So let's save this. File, Save As. Actually, it looks like this part should be all the way to the edge with this, right? I think I made a mistake here. Isn't this supposed to be the same as this? If this is the round part, this is the inside part. Yes? Yeah, so this should be back to 40 point, and then it should be bigger, right? It should be out to here. This needs to be 40 point and out to the edge there. Oops, yeah, too far. And then this should be maybe thicker. Ah. How about that? Better? Maybe make these points in just a little bit. Something like that. And then this needs to be inside the art bounds. This should be moved up a little bit. Maybe make this a little bigger. How about that? That's better? Okay, so let's save that. Let's make sure the artboard is this right size. Object, artboards, just selected art. Okay, file, save as. This is my food icon. Yes. Okay, let's go into Photoshop. Again, we were making an app that actually had this. I showed you you can download this, right? Oh, should we color it? Should we have colored it? We made this one purple. I don't know. We should have colored this maybe, I don't know. But we can bring it in by going under File, Place. Remember there's a Place Embedded and Place Link, right? Remember I talked about those? If you're doing Place Embedded, you can bring in your, where did I have it on the desktop? My Illustrator file. And then you can resize it. Oops. Looks pretty good. What do you guys think? A nice icon. Okay, now I know I drew that in Illustrator. Not all of you know Illustrator. That's okay. I'd rather that you come up with your own ideas. You can be rough. But try and make your at least 2 icons that you do yourself. Try drawing with a marker. Scan it in or take a picture with your phone. Convert it to vector. And make a list like this. Okay, so let's talk about making another button. So right now we have one button called delivery. Do you see it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. So here we go. Last class we were talking about layers. And remember, layers inside of Photoshop is where most of the stuff happens. So you'll notice I have, I'm going to hide that icon for now. Let's not worry about that one right now. But I have text, delivery text. I have my icon, and I have my background. Right? I have 3 pieces of artwork for one button. 3 pieces of artwork for one button. So what I'm going to do inside of Photoshop is I'm going to take these 3 options that are here, and I'm going to group them into a group. Then I'm going to duplicate that group, and then I'm going to adjust the artwork. So here's how I would do that. Select the text, select the truck, select the rectangle. In the layers window, in the upper right corner, you'll see you have your little lines right here. See the little lines? It's like a little 3 lines or 4 lines at the top. Do you see that? I'm going to convert them into a group, new group from layers. What that does is take those 3 layers that I have and puts them into a folder. Just like you would have folders on your desktop. You're taking the artwork in this program and putting it into a folder. Again, I selected them by holding the Shift key down. Click on the text, hold the Shift key down, click on the icon, hold the Shift key down, click on the rectangle. So again, I'm selecting them all using the Shift key. Next, in the upper right corner, I'm going to say New Group from Layers. Do you see that? And then I can give it a name. I'm going to call this one Button 1, just because it's the top one. I'm going to hit OK. And now it has a group. So what I want to do is I'm going to duplicate this group and move it down. Now there's a couple ways of doing it. Probably the easiest way is if you have the group selected, I could come over here where it says I have my black. Let me make this full screen so you don't see Illustrator anymore. Let me move things around a little bit here. I don't know what that is. But again, you'll see I have the Move tool selected, which is the most important one, the selection tool inside of Photoshop. And up here where it says Layer, you'll see it says Group and then Show Transform Tools. So again, I have the Move tool. I changed the option to Group because remember I put these in a group over here. Did you see that? Change the option to Group and Show Transform Tools. I'm going to put my cursor over top of the group. I'm going to hold down the Option key on the keyboard, Option, and I'm going to click and drag. And it makes a duplicate copy of all that artwork. I'm going to let my left mouse up. And now I have a Button 1 copy here. Let's call that one Button 2. Right? Button 2. So now I have 2 buttons. I got Button 1 and Button 2. Okay? So what I want to do is, of course, in Button 2, I don't want this truck delivery. So I'm going to delete that. There is a trash can at the bottom here to delete a layer. I'm going to delete that layer. I'm going to take my working food one, the food one I just made, and I'm going to drag it into that folder. How you drag into that folder is just hold the mouse down and you can just drag. Look, I'm just dragging where the other one would have been. Button 2, it should be here. Oh, it's hidden. There we go. There it is. And so we can put that in there. Oh, remember it's group, undo, move. Again, I'm going to go back to layer here. In the move tool, remember I did group so I could duplicate it. I'm going to go back to layer so I can grab individual pieces and move them around. And of course, this is not a delivery. This is going to be, I don't know, we're just making this up. Let's change the text, and this is going to be got food. How about that? It's a button. Got food. Okay, so again, button 2 is over here. Look at that, button 2 right there. Let's duplicate that. Again, go back up here to where it said layer. We're going to go back to group, right? Remember group? There we go. I'm doing the same thing again. I'm going to hold down the option key. I'm going to click and drag that down. There we go. I moved it a little bit to the left. There we go. Arrow keys will do that. So we're going to call this what? Button 3, right? Button 3. Okay. Oh, we need another icon. Let's go steal one. Run out of time here. What were we doing? Map? Was there a map or something? Did we say we were going to make a map one? Map? Map. Map? Or we didn't like map. What was another one that we were going to make?
Compass.
Oh, a compass?
Yeah.
Compass? Okay, that's good. Compass. Which one? You like this one or this one? Who looks the colorful one? This one. Or you like this one? Oh, look at that one. Very detailed. Which one says compass to you? This one?
Sure.
Or this one? One or two? Who says one? Two people? Who says two? Three people. Okay, I guess we're going with this one. Let's take a screen grab, Command Shift 4. Let's go steal in Illustrator, file new, hit OK, edit, place, find our stolen artwork. Convert to an object using the image trace. Edit. What we're going to do? Object, expand. Let's give it some color so it's not so boring. I might put an ellipse around it in the background. Remember, there's layers inside of Illustrator, so I'm just going to put a circle behind this. Oh, jeez. These mice do this. And then I'm going to go arrange, send to back, and let's give it a color. If it's not showing color, you need to convert your object to an RGB. There we go. And then maybe let's make this white. How about that? Oh, that's everything. I didn't want to make everything white. I wanted to keep the outside, this part, black. Oh, it's all linked together. How about we expand again? Oh, it's object. How about we ungroup? Yeah, it's notice it selects when I select this, it selects everything. So there's somehow these are all grouped together. And I don't know how to ungroup them. I've been trying. Here we go. Let's select the first one, the white selection tool. So let's make that white in the center. Or how about we make it gray? White is too much. Ah, that's no good either. How about light gray? How about light gray with a black line around it? Make a thicker black line. Thicker black line. How about that? That's better. Let's save that. Remember, reduce your artwork. If you're using Illustrator, reduce your artwork to the size of the art by going under Artboards, Fit to Selected Art, and then save that as an Illustrator file. This is what? Compass. Compass. And then let's go back to Photoshop. Again, we're going to do edit, no, file, place, embedded. I'm going to choose my compass. Let's shrink it down. Whoosh, that's kind of big. There we go. Make sure it's in your layer that you want. Remember, it's button 3. Remember, there's groups over here. So let's take that compass. Let's get rid of this one. We can hit the delete key on there. And then move the compass right in there. There we go. And what are we going to call this? Delivery, got food. How about found? Oops, all caps. Found food. Whoosh, that doesn't fit, does it? So if I have text that doesn't fit, what should I do? Shrink it down? Really? How about that? If we shrink it down? Okay. That fits. But what's the problem there? It's smaller than these ones. Okay, so you can't do that. What's the best way to do that would be to, if you're struggling with that, is to find one that does fit. It's the 52 points right there, so I would make these all 52 then. I would go with the smallest one if you have to, or change the text. I would go with that. Don't have one size text and the other one's different, because then you're giving emphasis of one or the other. Okay, I don't need to keep talking here. I'm going to stop right now.